Today we're trying a new pigment I wasn't a fan of, and basically everything went wrong in this project. And in the end I wasn't even happy with the result. Welcome, this is Tom from Woodworking, and the first step in our charcuterie board build is cleaning up the slab. And here you can see the biggest success I had with this project. I got off the bark in one piece. Look at this beauty. I was so happy by that time. I thought I'm gonna crush this project. Boy, was I wrong. This project kicked my butt. So what you guys saw here in the background is we cleaned up the slab, we removed the bark, we removed all the softwood and made sure that the epoxy had nothing to bond to but the hardwood. Now we are building our epoxy form, and we're using white melamine that I cut down here on my trusty table saw. This is the Diablo 7491. It's the best job site table saw on the market. And guys, I can tell you the fence on it is insanely good. So I'm super happy with it. By the way guys, I'm linking products that I'm using here in this video down below. So check it out. We are putting our mold release on the parts of our epoxy form. I will be publishing a full build video on how I build my reusable epoxy forms. So make sure to subscribe so that you get a notification once this video is up. If the video is up already while you're watching that, I will link them in the end. So we are on the last step of our epoxy form build. We are sealing off all the edges and the corners with silicone, and then we leave it for about 24 hours so it's fully cured. When I'm watching these videos, sometimes I think to myself, what a bloody idiot. I'm already not feeling comfortable with this cut, and you can see like I'm super careful and I'm trying to go really slow and don't know exactly where to put my hand and so on, so it was a very chunky cut already. So I did make it and I was super careful, so everything went well, thank God, but not so much with the next one. Again, when I saw that, I thought like bloody idiot to myself. So please learn out of my mistakes, be careful and never rush through a cut like that. Thank God nothing major happened there, but this kickback was for real. I was a little shaky after that. This cut is so easily made just with putting on the track. This is the one little extra step that made it super simple and very safe. While we are calculating the volume of the epoxy here, please direct your attention to the top of the slab. You can actually see how much wood it took out because of the kickback. There's a chunk of wood missing, and I obviously had to calculate the epoxy for that chunk of wood that is missing there too. So we had to mix more. And mixing. Let's look how we mixed our resin together. We used the deep Pure River cast from Health of Mine Art, which is a 2-to-1 resin mix. It's one of the best Australian made resins. It cures rock hard in almost any conditions. It's extremely easy to use. It has no bubbles. It's very slow releasing, so all the bubbles disappear. It's amazing. I once had a pour that was in the middle of winter. My shop is not heated or insulated. I'm in a big shed, and it had like -2 degrees during the night. It still cured rock hard. It took about a day or two longer to cure, but there were 0 bubbles and it was completely cured, no cracks, no nothing. So it's an extremely easy to use, nice product. If you're interested in getting that product, I again have a link down the bottom where you can easily get that, and I think Amazon also provides now free shipping for the product, so check it out. I can highly recommend it. We let the resin sit for about 20 minutes and then we pop the bubbles with a blowtorch, and then we put this pigment in. This pigment was something that I'm trying brand new. It's not from Half of Mind Art, it's something else. And to be honest, I was not very happy with it. I'm using usually black diamond or the Half of Mind Art pigments, and they are much easier to use. You only need a little bit to actually really make it thick. Here I had to use a lot, and the finish itself was not fantastic. So we gave it a shot anyway. We're pouring it now into our mold, and you can see here it looks nice and satisfying, getting all of this liquid in there. I didn't clamp it down as of yet because I, of course, am a YouTuber and I want to show you the best shots. And so I haven't clamped that down right now, but we will do that in a second. It is very important to clamp down your piece. Otherwise your wood will be floating. And please don't ask me why I know that. At this stage I thought we have the worst behind us and the project is back on track. We can now let it cure, everything works out with the Half of Mind Art resin anyway, so I wasn't worried about that. The pigment actually right here, right now, looks alright, the color looks alright, I got the saturation okay. I came back the next day and I stirred it up a little bit and it actually looked alright, so I was like, wow, this is gonna turn out amazingly. Well, I was bloody wrong. 3 days later we are coming back and we are demolding our charcuterie board, and this was a bit tough to get out, but in the end it worked fine. Now we are flattening our charcuterie board, and this always makes a mess. I hate it, but anyway, it has to be done. We have to flatten it and make it completely, well, flat. Anyway, I get a lot of questions asked about this flattening process, and mostly it's about the bit, so I've linked the bit below. We're sending out the marks, and the next step in our charcuterie board build is gonna be the final shaping of the board. So I traced out off camera the template, and now with our trusty jigsaw we are trying to get as close to the lines as possible and shape this board. We won't be super clean, but we're gonna clean it up later on with our router and our flush trim bit.
Cool. Let's keep going.
So we're trying a brand new bit here, and I went almost the whole way around with it. I was super happy when it suddenly made this horrible noise. Holy moly, what else can go wrong? We lost the bearing of our flush trim bit. So obviously we made a massive cut into our board, and I had to find the flush trim bit, which I thankfully did, so I could actually screw it on again and finish this bloody board. And I can see the light in the end of the tunnel. We are at the sanding stage. And you know what, guys? Here, just for you, a sanding montage. Welcome back to the build. Now we're filling up some minor cracks with our medium thick CA glue. One tip I can give you with that Starbond medium thick CA glue, what I'm using there, and the activator is, if the crack gets relatively deep, then you just need to put a couple of different layers on it. So a layer of CA glue, activator, layer of CA glue, activator, so it cures fully hard in seconds. This charcuterie board had to be sanded, a lot of it sanded by hand. So if you have a better way to do that, because I hate hand sanding and it also doesn't leave a very good finish, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed yourself watching me struggling my way through this project, don't hesitate and hit the like button. So we sent it up to about 120 grit before we put this round over on. Why am I doing 180 grit and not the fully 180 or 240 that I'm sending this project? Is because the round over bit leaves a little bit of scratches on the top and on the side once I run over it. And now here you can see me making a massive mistake. I usually never ever put a round over in this little gap there because it literally doesn't work. Don't ask me what I was thinking. It was, I think, 1 a.m. in the morning and I just totally forgot. So I had to fix that, and how I did that was by hand with some rasps and a lot of sanding and sandpaper. So I lost a ton of time just doing that. So this board, my God. One thing that actually turned out well was this laser engraving. I loved how deep it went and how nicely it's contrasting the wood here. It is finishing time. We're using a hard wax oil here. You buff it in with a rag and then buff it off as much as you can after about an hour. And it looks alright and it's food safe. And I presented this charcuterie board to the client. She said like, oh, she loved it. But it felt a little bit like when you meet someone's child and it's not the prettiest and you say, oh, he or she is so cute. So I might be biased because this project kicked my butt, but please let me know in the comments below, do you like the project? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see me struggle again. I appreciate you. Please watch one of those videos next.